Coming in, yeah, flex. I just wanna win, yeah. LABB, who we running with, yeah. 2233, I'm on 10 again, yeah. State your name, been dope on flame. I just switched the lanes. Damn, he did it again. I just flipped the pain. Stripping and dipping in bass, slab on everything. Swimming, you taking away, cause I got big racks coming. I put my low racks on it. I ain't skip past losses, I had to get back off it. See the fit lab on it until they whip my coffin. Money clip, I tossed it, I heard it's big bags on big bags on big bags coming, coming in, yeah, flex. I just wanna win, yeah. LABB, who we running with, yeah. 2233, I'm on 10 again. Pump up the action. I'm active. If he never heard of been dope, he just napping. Jackson's off the rapping. Keep it on my body, bitch, I'm broke if you ask it. Don't gotta sell it, most of y'all is flawless. Broken whips as long as it is foreign. Heard you want it cause the yam's enormous. What's in since she isn't gorgeous. Live my life, last name of Morgan Freeman. Trying to touch a forest, do not know when knocking on the door is. Came in, I came in, did it like the Porsches. Coming in, yeah, flex. I just wanna win, yeah. LABB, who we running with, yeah. 2233, I'm on 10 again. Okay, alright. Coming in, yeah, flex. I just wanna win, yeah. LABB, who we running with, yeah. 2233, I'm on 10, yeah. Coming in, yeah, flex. I just wanna win, yeah. LABB, who we running with, yeah. 2233, I'm on 10 again, yeah. State your name, been dope on flame. I just switched the lanes. Damn, he did it again. I just flipped the pain. Stripping and dipping in bass, slab on everything. Swimming, you sinking away, cause I got big racks coming. I put my low racks on it. I ain't skip past losses, I had to get back off it. See the fit lab on it until they whip my coffin. Money clip, I tossed it, I heard it's big bags on big bags on big bags coming, coming in, yeah, flex. I just wanna win, yeah. LABB, who we running with, yeah. 2233, I'm on 10 again. Pump up the action. I'm active. If he never heard of been dope, he just napping. Jackson's off the rapping. Keep it on my body, bitch, I'm broke if you ask it. Don't gotta sell it, most of y'all is flawless. Broken whips as long as it is foreign. Heard you want it cause the yam's enormous. What's in since she isn't gorgeous. Live my life, last name of Morgan Freeman. Trying to touch a forest, do not know when knocking on the door is. Came in, I came in, did it like the Porsches. Coming in, yeah, flex. I just wanna win, yeah. LABB, who we running with, yeah. 2233, I'm on 10 again. Okay, alright. Coming in, yeah, flex. I just wanna win, LABB, who we running with, yeah. 2233, I'm on 10, yeah.
What up?
Yo, what's up,
fellas? How y'all feeling?
Oh, man, you know, I'm blessed,
well,
man.
How y'all doing?
I'm blessed, man. You know, I'm just trying to turn up. I'm a little excited, though, man. I'm a little excited about what we got in store for y'all today, man. You know, I feel like we got some turn up juice that I don't know if y'all quite ready for it yet. You know what I mean?
I don't think they're ready for it, man. How's that weather in Chicago, man? I know it'd be a lot of snow on your Instagram stories. How it is out there?
Man, listen, it's freezing, bro. We about 14 degrees. We still getting snow. So you know, man, but we used to this, man. We do this, man. This will make us stronger. So it is what it is, man.
Wow.
That sounds uncomfortable to me.
Absolutely, man. Without further ado, though, man, I just want to do a quick breakdown of the absolute boss that we got coming to the stage today, man. I mean, this right here is not only like a good business mogul in the real estate wholesale space, but he's also a good friend of mine. You know what I mean? And I mean, these guys, humble guy who came up out the ranks. You know what I mean? Straight from the bottom, literally from broke to millions. This can't be made up. You understand what I'm saying? This can't be made up. Literally from broke to millions. So it's an amazing story. I really believe that anybody who is listening to this podcast right now, you are going to be blessed after hearing the things that are going to be said on this podcast today. So, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and introduce my guy. You know what I'm saying? Keith Diddy. You know what I'm saying?
What up?
These my guys right here, man.
Absolutely. Hey, man, so this is what I want y'all to do. Go ahead and hit that like button. Like abuse the like button right now. Abuse the like button right now. Okay? And let us know exactly where you from. You know what I mean? Let us know the city that you coming from right now. You know what I mean? Because it's time to represent. That's what time it is right now. So
let's get it.
We ain't gonna do a whole bunch of fluff, Diddy. We gonna go straight to it. We're gonna go straight to it.
No, we gonna, man. That's only I only know how to keep it one way. You know what I mean? It's the way it's supposed to be. Yeah. So I'm ready,
big
man. Ready to go.
Big facts, man.
So let's get it.
Hey, let's get it, man. And real quick before we jump right into it, man, I want y'all to share this. Make sure y'all share this live with 4 to 5 people, man. Make sure y'all smash that like button. Man, we got to get the building up. It's free, right? It's free. Making sure y'all share that, man. We got to turn this boy up. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it though, man. So, hey, Diddy, man. Without further ado, bro, let the audience know a little bit background on you, man. Let them know about Diddy, man.
So real estate Diddy. This is a guy, man. I'm located in Huntsville, Alabama right now. Been out here for like 12 years, but I was born and raised in the Midwest, man. I'm from Dayton, Ohio. Man. Sure. Rough parts. I mean, that's all I know, man. I was spoon fed, none of that, man. I come from, my parents was broken. They, I'm just blessed to have, broken parents was able to raise a guy just like me. I was a guy that played ball growing up, from all the way from 6 years old all the way to, my 12th grade year in high school, dibble and dabble a little bit in the streets, but I ended up somehow making it to college. And I went to college in Alabama, man, and no family, no nothing. I had $50. My mama gave me her last 50, and I'm here right now. So I was working actually at a factory from 2011 to 2016, and I thought that's what I wanted to do with my life. I wanted to kind of climb up the factory ladder, wanted to be a supervisor, but I quickly realized, after they gave me a 10-cent raise at the end of 2015, this ain't what I want to do, man. I'm a real hustler. I ain't got time to be getting no 10-cent raise. I got to know exactly. I want to be appreciated. I think we all crave appreciation. So I start praying. I end up following all successful people on Instagram. I ran into this guy named Nick Ruiz early 2016. He had a webinar. He sold his book. I bought the book and shit. I got started. So what I started doing is reading the book every chapter. I had me a to-do list. By the time I got done with the book, I was ready to go. So the first thing I did was, put out some bandit signs. I started writing direct mail, with a piece of paper and the pen. Just going to buy the envelopes and the stamps. I put it out there to the universe. I ended up getting a call off a bandit sign. Didn't know nothing about the property. Didn't know what the HVAC was. Didn't know what plumbing was. And I ain't even really care. I needed the cheese. You know what I mean? I feel like that. People that's held up because they trying to be perfect. Nah, I don't want to be perfect. I want to be the guy they say, damn, he take action. He willing to make a mistake. You know what I mean? But the good thing about real hustlers, when you make a mistake, you ain't gonna keep making the same ones. So that's how I really got my first deal. It was $2,500. Well, it was actually $5,000. I JV with a guy $2,500 a piece. And shit, I quit my job for 5 years with benefits. I said, I'm putting my back on the wall. I'm putting my faith in God, and we're gonna find a way. And we here today.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's amazing. You mentioned you went to college. Did you finish college or what?
Absolutely not. I didn't finish college.
Why not?
Because I never was a college guy. I was going to college only because my parents really didn't graduate high school. So I'm like, shit, I want to be the hometown hood, whatever you want to call it, hero. I want to do something that they didn't do, and maybe I can make them happy. But I don't care what you're doing in life. If your heart ain't in it, you doing it for somebody else. You know what I mean? If you ain't doing it for yourself, then eventually you're gonna stop. You know what I'm saying? That's why when people always say, "Oh, I'm working hard for my kids and stuff like that," yeah, that's cool. I mean, yeah, that's cool. It sounds cool, but at the end of the day, if you're working hard for somebody else and you're not really doing it for your own self, eventually you're gonna stop and try to find the next thing to do. So you got to do it for yourself.
Gotcha. Now you mentioned on Instagram you unfollowed all the BS, started following successful people. Like what drew you to Nick Ruiz in real estate exactly?
Man, he said shit. He said get into real estate with no money down. I always thought you needed some money. So when he said no money down, I mean, at the time that was my situation. I ain't really had no money to put down. So I was and believe this or not, man, I always thought about real estate. I was thinking about real estate agents. I never thought, that we can actually get into this type of field without that much capital.
Yeah.
So, I realized that you could. Oh my God. I said, these boys getting $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 checks. I said, ain't no way they human just like me. They put just like me. And I don't get the same money. You crazy, man. Come on, man. I ain't got nothing to go back to. You know what I mean? Some people, if you weren't doing this, what I'd be doing, man. I mean, I can't think like that. You know what I mean? I don't even think like that.
Wow.
Man, I was the same way, man. That's all I thought was real estate agent when I was younger. But go ahead, B. My bad. I ain't cut you.
Nah. You good, man. I'm just flowing with this. I'm having fun right now, man. So my thing is this, though, Diddy. Like, so I know a lot of people. I know you said that you watched Rick Ruiz, right? Nick Ruiz.
Yeah.
But tell me though, okay, so you did say that was the strategy, but wholesaling. What really drew you to wholesaling, and what was that first deal like? So break down the specifics on how you was able to get that first deal across the finish line, and what made you just stick with wholesaling as your official strategy, moving forward.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna kind of start I'm gonna start at the last part first. Wholesaling, man. I seen the checks, man. Where I'm from, man. You telling me I can make 20,000 and I can do it the right way?
Yeah,
that right there, everything. Because you got to think about this, right? Around that time, man, a lot of my cats, I had college buddies, but also all my friends back home, these street cats. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking like, if I could be cool, and to me, I was just telling somebody this earlier. Entrepreneurs really the new. Entertainers, rappers, dope boy, whatever, because we living cool now.
Yeah.
It ain't the same suits and all that no more. You know what I mean? I see my guy Byron, he got the, Byron Sellers, he got the Montclair on. You know what I mean? That's stuff there. You know what I'm saying? So seriously though, so my first deal, I end up, like I said, it was off a bandit sign, right? So a guy, he actually was living in Washington, D.C., so he actually was an absentee owner. The house was vacant. I'll never forget. It's off the street called Crestline. I'll never forget. I know exactly where it's at right now. So I didn't even know nothing about comps. That's the crazy part. I just knew to look on Zillow. The price that he wanted was way below the price they had on Zillow. You know what I mean? But guess what? Nick Ruiz, he used to say rough draft moves. Just go out there and make it. You got to think. My first so-called mentor.
Hold on. Wait. Let's go back to that. You said rough draft moves. Wait a minute. I think that's finna bless somebody. Can you speak on that? Keep that thought. But speak on rough draft moves. The concept of that, please.
So basically, that's saying like taking action without knowing everything. It's kind of like writing the paper. The rough draft is the first part. You got to get out there and do the rough draft before you can do the final copy. Absolutely. So his whole thing was get out there. Take action, and you'll learn as you go. You know what I mean? I took that to the heart, man. I said, forget it. I'm out here. My lady, she done took a job an hour and a half away. We got a son. He only a couple months. So I'm like, man, I can't fail. This lady took a job to help support me on my dream. So how can I be playing around, man? I sold all my clothes and everything, man. I was down to a pair of Levi's, some ACG boots, 2 polos, and I was ready to go. I ain't care what season it was. I wore the same thing every season. And I ain't had no seasons with the club. It was the same thing until I got to where I wanted to be at, and then that's when I switched up. So the first deal was $28,000. Got it in contract. Didn't know where to find cash buyers at the time. Only thing I did was I put the property on Craigslist. A wholesaler reached out. We JV'd it $2,500 a piece, And it was history after that. That's when I quit my job. I said, "Oh, yeah, I ain't going back to work. I just got 2,500 that quick. Ain't no going."
Hey, hustler shit right there, man. I
Yes,
love that,
indeed.
man.
Yes, indeed.
That's a true hustle.
For real. So, bro,
Yeah.
I love, like, again, you talked about that first deal, you know what I'm saying? And real quick, I want everybody, every common theme on here is sacrifice. Did he talk about his sacrifice? Like, you got to think about it. If you come from being, we call it, back in the days, you call it being jiggy. Right now, they call it drip, right? And then you
Right.
go down to one outfit, that's a lot of pride and ego that you got to put to the side.
Oh,
you know what
man.
I'm saying? So think about that sacrifice that he made. But Diddy, I want to ask you this, man.
Yeah.
Talk about the deal that taught you the biggest lesson in your wholesaling career.
Woo. The biggest lesson. Man, the deal that taught me the biggest lesson. Man, that's a good question. I would say, man, I would probably say, man, there's so many. I would say the first one, man. I know that sounds kind of crazy, and the reason I say that because it taught me that I can believe in myself, is that I can work for myself. You know what I mean? Because you got to think about it. If you never ever got a check as an entrepreneur, you really don't know. First and foremost, do you deserve it? Is it really real? Because you at that stage before you get your first deal, man. This really work, man. Is this a scam? So when I got that first deal, man, I really couldn't believe it, man. It touched my heart to this day. Like it was like a game changer. Like it was like when you get in the varsity basketball game and you hit your first three. Like, oh, I can really play with these cats. Oh, it's on then now. We ain't looking back now though.
Straight
So
up.
it was kind of similar.
So tell me this though, Diddy. Tell me this. All right, so we talked about that first deal. We talked about some lessons. What were you able to accomplish after that first deal? You know what I mean? And after you start kind of getting that momentum. Let's talk about that momentum phase. And before you do that, make sure y'all hit that like button. Hit that like button. Show some love to that like button right now. Diddy is dropping some gems, and he about to get into the nitty gritty that's gonna show you how to scale up. So make sure we hit that like button. But yeah, Diddy, talk about that momentum phase when you start transitioning to making real money in the business.
My momentum stage, it didn't come until 2017 when I linked up with my partner that I got now, Lenny. Shout out to Lenny too.
Absolutely.
So you know, before Lenny, my very first year, I got my first deal. I never done a deal by myself, first and foremost. My very first deal was a JV. Right after that, I had a partner that I knew. He was kind of an older cat. Got a lot of respect to him, for him to, till this day. We partnered up for a little bit. You know, he didn't really have as much time as I did to allocate. So I found myself playing different positions in the company, and he ended up moving out of town, right? So I ended up I did 2 deals that year. I did a deal for that 5,000, and then I got 2,500. And then like in August, I did a deal for 16,000 and some change. And me and my first partner, we bust that down. So I was just thankful that he was able, not only that, okay, he didn't have the time to allocate, but shit, when my car got repoed, this the same guy that gave me a car to drive around in. You know, when I ain't had no money in my pocket, he gave me $200, which felt like 2 racks at the time. So even though we met down, we still got a lot of respect for each other. So when I met Lenny in February 2017, only reason that me and Lenny became partners is because my car got repoed, and I was actually in Birmingham. My car got repoed, and I needed somebody to go to an appointment for me. And when I realized that he didn't backdoor me, I said, okay, yeah, we need to go and sit down and see how we could put this together, because he was marketing on Facebook and I was marketing on Facebook, and we ended up inboxing each other. I can't remember which one was first. Shit, we sat down at Starbucks a couple of times. He went on that appointment. He completed it. He still was working in 2017. He didn't quit his job till a year later. I'm in the field already. Shit, it was already balls to the walls with me, so it didn't even matter. I ain't even care at that point. You know what I mean? So we linked up that year. Man, we did 45 deals. We found a hedge fund company out of South Carolina. We did every deal down there with them.
Oh, my God.
We did every deal with them. I'm talking about we racking up. I couldn't believe the money we was getting, man. I couldn't even believe it. You got to think, a cat that was just working, you getting 20,000 here, 15,000 here. You know what I mean? That's when I'm still childish. I'm still taking the money out the bank. I'm spraying it out. I'm calling the homies. Like, yeah, this was. It's so good that, but people always talk about mindset. They always talk about what was the difference in mindset when you was working and you being an entrepreneur. But it's really 3 phases of mindsets, right? To me, as of right now, what I've been through, it's that you got the 9 to 5 mindset, then you got the mindset of a hustler where you ain't got no team, no office, you just getting deals, and then you graduate and got the mindset of a CEO. Now you got to sit back. Now you got to learn finance and financial literacy. Now you got to learn how to do payroll. Now you got to learn how to motivate somebody outside yourself and teach them the same things. So that's where we at with it right now. But you got to be able to make adjustments, man. But that 2017, when we got that flow, man, we was going crazy, man.
Wow.
I love it. I love it. So tell me this. You made it. Let me go back a little bit. So you made the 2,500.
Yeah.
How long did it take till you got that until you got your next deal? And what did you actually do with the 2,500? Because you said you quit your job. So tell us a little bit about that. Because I know they got people on here. You know, they don't have that much money. They only might have 2,000. So this might be a little inspiration to them.
Man, I'm gonna keep it all the way real with y'all, man. I got that 2,500. I went to the A, man. I blew the money because I thought I was gonna seriously though. I thought I had it figured out. You know what I mean?
You thought you turned the water faucet on.
Went to the A, blew the money, went shopping, and when I came back, guess what? Now I don't get my next deal to August, and I ain't got no job.
Man.
Your first deal was in what month?
My first deal was at the end of April. Then I quit in May. Went to the A in May, and I ain't get my next deal till August, man. Ooh. So you got to think about it. Now my lady, she helping me out. You know, I can't really call my, I can't call my mom and dad. Shit, they need me. Shit,
them days over with.
Yeah, them days over with.
So you were really broke.
Man, listen to me, man. I was sleeping on the box spring for 3 weeks, man. You know what I mean? I was sleeping on the box spring for 3 weeks. I sold my furniture. I ain't had no tables. I ain't had nothing but a couple toys for my son. I was sleeping on the box spring for a minute. I used to have to put him on the pillow. You know what I mean? Hey, listen, son, you good. I'll sleep on the spring. I got these books in here. I got my faith. I got this Bible. And, I prayed my way out, and I fought my way out, man. I was tying my money like crazy. Like everything I get, 10%. I ain't even care. I wanted to take my hands off my situation.
Wait a minute. You said even when you was broke,
man, still tied
10%.
Ooh,
so you got $1.
I'm gonna tell y'all know why.
10 cents is going out.
Because, you see, the thing is this, right? When you down to your last and you say you believe in God, you got to put God in the corner. You got to box him in and make him move. Ooh. God, if I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, guess what? Now you got to make a move if you real. You feel me? If you the God that you say you are, let me do what I'm supposed to do, box you in the corner, and now you got to give me my blessings. And that's what he did.
Ooh.
Wow.
I'm looking for supernatural blessings at all times, like right now. Sometimes we lean on ourselves too much and we take the supernatural out the blessings. But now I'm at a point right now, guess what? People think that because you start making money that you don't go through no more problems. It really get more complicated. Your vision can get a little bit more blurry because there's so much going on. And that's why you gotta keep your hands on the spiritual aspect of it. I'm looking for supernatural. I don't know about y'all. I believe in that. I believe it.
Man.
Damn, that's a lot of heat right there.
That's powerful, man.
Wow. Golly, man. If you ain't get moved by that, you know what? You may be a rock. You understand me?
Hey, man, drop them prayer hands in that chat. Drop them prayer hands in that chat because, man, you that right there, Diddy, man, I'm telling you, like, that's the catalyst, right? We could talk about real estate. We could talk about making money. We could talk about other things, but people don't realize how important the faith is. And when you just said, bro, like you said, not only you tied 10%, but you prayed so much that you like, yo, God, it's your turn. And you waited and he made things happen for you, right? And so when you talk about that, man, you know what I'm saying? Like your faith and how you made those things happen. Let me ask you this, man.
Yeah.
Being in that situation, did you know deep down in your heart, like God got me?
Man, I'm gonna say this, man. At first, I was a sucker, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because when I start going through so much, I start losing faith. When I was on this journey, I start getting depressed on this journey. It was times I shed a couple of tears because I couldn't understand that. It was a couple of people turning their back on me, and I'm watching them, get blessed or what. Social media make you feel like somebody getting blessed, but you don't really know the whole internal aspect. Yeah. So before I got any type of blessing, I had to do two things. Number one, look yourself in the mirror, and which I did. I had to stop feeling sorry for myself, man. Why you feeling sorry? Instead of saying, why me? Why not me? You know what I mean? Why not me? I read this Bible chapter. It's called, it's in James. He said, when trouble comes, it's the time for great joy. So no matter what I was going through, if I didn't have nothing, I still want to be a blessing to somebody else. So what I start doing is, I don't care if it's something small, a compliment. I don't care if it's a couple dollars, buy a homeless man a cheeseburger. I wanted to be a blessing to somebody else because I realized this is a time of great joy right now. And people don't realize it's not your season every time. Like right now, we grinding right now. We ain't balling right now. We chilling right now. And no real hustle trying to ball every season. You got to take some time off. So the first thing first, I looked myself in the mirror. I said, listen, ain't no feeling sorry for yourself. Every time I feel sorry for myself, guess what? It's going to be a day prolonged for my mama to be able to retire. You know what I mean? That was the rule of thumb. Number two, the second thing I had to do, right? I had to just go hard, man. I had to just go hard and be relentless and be emotionless when I'm hustling. A lot of people hustle with emotions. So when something bad happened, it hit them so hard, they're not able to get back up. But guess what, man? We ain't got no emotions with this, man. We got to keep our feelings in check. Don't feel sorry for yourself. Keep your feelings in check, man. You got to go towards it. You know, I was relentless, man. I'm getting the deal. What you mean? I'm getting the deal. Some people want to win, but I feel like I had to win. You want to win and me having to win is two different things. Ooh. You can want something, what it takes to get it. But for me, I said, man, listen, I'm getting the deal before I eat. I ain't eating dinner without no deal. So that means I'm going to make calls. You know what I mean? And that's just how serious I took.
Damn. I love that, bro. I love that. So, man, tell me, like, how was it? Because you was broke. How was it when you started actually making money? Like, how did it feel? What did you do? Did you learn from spending that money in Atlanta? Tell us a little bit about that. Because, you know, if somebody's completely broke and they get money,
I remember
they don't know how to act because they didn't have no money. So tell us a little bit about that.
Hey, man, listen, man. I remember the day like it's yesterday. I was in my apartment, one bedroom, minus ain't no terrace. That was where I used to stay at. Man, listen, I remember I went from negative $68. Next thing you know, I got 22 stacks counting on the counter. I couldn't believe it. I'm still in them Levi's. No boots. You got to think, you went from negative 68 to 22 stacks. I got the video and the picture to this day. You know what I mean? I ain't had no fun.
The banker probably couldn't believe it.
Man, I said, I'm back, man. What y'all talking about, man? These boys counted me out a long time ago. You know what I mean? People kept counting me out. And that was another thing I had to do. The people that turned their back on me, I had something in my heart that I wanted to ball on them so bad, but I realized that I was never going to get my blessing until I let that go and just forgive them. Because I can't have animosity in my heart and saying I want God to bless me, but I low-key in my mind I wanted to bless somebody else because of the way they did me. So I had to go and let that go first, and that's when the blessings came in, man. 22 stacks. After that, man, we took all the way off 2018. It was crazy, man. We did 1.5 million, 109 deals, 2 people, no office, no CRM, straight direct mail, bandit signs. We started learning a little bit about RVM, and we was gone, man. I ain't gonna lie. I went to Miami. I'm renting out Rolls Royces in 18. Man, you know what I'm saying? I'm holding up Don Perry on the Rolls Royce. I'm going crazy. You know, I feel like everybody got to get that out their system. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's real. You got to get it out your system.
Yeah, because you got to think, when you come from a certain type of spot and you get a chance to do it legally, you want to kind of release without feeling like something's going to happen to you. And I think that was just my moment.
How much money you think you spent?
Oh, I spent 10 bands on that trip. I remember.
Hold on. You and Lenny each spent 10 bands?
We both got 10 racks, man. 20 racks total.
God damn.
You got to think, man.
That's the place you're going to do it. Miami is a place.
Man,
I
my
can
lady,
see you spending 10 racks. I can't see Lenny spending 10 racks, man. I can't see.
I made him. What you man? What you talking about? We all in Gucci and Louis Vuitton and Ball Harbors in Miami going crazy, man.
Oh, man. I bet the women enjoyed that.
Man, listen to me. We was drinking Don P while we was driving. And then we pull up to, what's my man that got the restaurant with the salt? We pulled up to his restaurant, ordered another bottle of wet. Yeah.
Hey.
I tell you something, though, man, on a serious note, you know, after that vacation, you know, after we got that out of our system, that's when we say, you know what?
Turned up.
we got to turn up and not just turn up. We got to go from hustlers to CEOs. That was hard, bro. That was the hardest part about this journey, bro. Going from a hustler to a CEO. Because now you got expenses now. Damn, that's hard, bro, when you first start having expenses. When you start hiring people and you realize, damn, they ain't cold like me. So now what do you do next? I was a terrible leader at first, bro, because I knew how to do everything. I just didn't know how to teach it, though. So then I had to, you know what? Let's back off this social media for like 30 days. Let's go ahead and get everything in place. Let's sacrifice this first 2 weeks. And, we had paid for some mentorship. We had dropped like 20 racks. And when we came back from that, we had to get away from social media because we got to get the systems in place. Because one thing about me, I fear one thing, and we shouldn't fear anything. I fear not being able to make the adjustments, bro. Like, I feel like that you got to be able to make the adjustments. That's the difference between the people in the barbershop talking about, oh, I used to be the man, and the person in there saying, listen, I'm still the man. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Wow. Tell me this, though, Diddy. What is a gem that you would say that you learned, right, that you could share to somebody who is looking to get into the entrepreneurial space from a wholesale perspective? Like, what would you tell that person?
Man, I would say, to be honest, just focus on maybe 1 or 2 marketing channels at first. You know what I mean? I think that you got to be so relentless. Like, just keep it cool. Everybody trying to expand so quick. People are trying to delegate, and they don't even know every role in the company yet. So I would say pick like 2 marketing channels, whether you just drive them for dollars or you may be doing some cold calling, but be so consistent, be relentless at it. Don't give up, whatever it takes. You know what I mean? When people ask you what you do, just say, man, I do whatever it takes, man. Just keep it cool. 2 marketing channels, never stop. You'll get a deal, guaranteed.
I got a question for you, man. Got a question for you. Yes, so, how did you become you? How did you become a king closer? Because closing is that's damn near one of the hardest things in real estate. So, how did you become good at what you do right now? Tell us a little bit about that.
Man, my girl ain't gonna like me saying this, man, but I got to keep it real. I was always smooth.
How you like?
I was always smooth with the ladies, man. I'm being honest though. I always knew what to say to make somebody react a certain type of way. Always. You know what I mean? I always was enthused about saying certain things and touching that inner pain point of somebody and make them react, whether it was good, whether it was a bad thing. So all I did was best at this. You know what I mean? I'm going to really talk to these people. I want to be just like this, whether I'm going down the script or not. I already get it. So I think it was just seeing people really going through real situations, knowing where I come from. You know what I mean? I had so much sympathy and empathy inside of me that I knew exactly what to do. But at the same time, I need that money, though, at the same time. Listen, we're going to talk. We're going to build some rapport up, but my eyes on that. I know what we're trying to do. I'm going to help you out. I'm going to get this back, and we're going to push. You know what I mean? I didn't brought sellers. You know, we do moving trucks. Got movers coming over. I'm bringing them Burger King and everything, man. I'm checking up on them. Some sellers be feeling like, they didn't feel like my grandma. I'd have been in there while they cooking, I'm just being me, man. I have to be myself. I think that worked this whole time. I've never been only sales I did. I worked at City Trends for maybe a year or 2, but that was kind of retail. I did that when I was in college, but other than that, I ain't had no sales experience. You know what I mean? I just knew what to say to make people react a certain type of way.
Gotcha. So from a leadership perspective, let's talk about it. What are some of the biggest challenges that you feel that you faced as a leader, and that most entrepreneurs that go from where you was end up having to face when they start to try to scale a business to like a real business, to where they more so working on the business instead of working in the business?
I think that the first thing though, as a CEO, as a leader, it's kind of like a basketball coach, right? You got to know your personnel. You got to know what position everybody needs to be at. And then we struggle with that at the beginning. We had people literally in the wrong position, and we was getting ready to let a couple people go because they was in the wrong position. They wasn't performing, but really that was a coach issue. How can I let somebody go when I got them in the wrong position? And they really, instead of this person being on acquisitions, like we had a girl on acquisitions, she wasn't doing good. But guess what? We put her in dispositions. Now she started going crazy. So that was a quick audible. I think you got to learn everybody on your team personnel, not only just the positions, but what is their personality type? And I learned that from the 5 love languages, right? What is their personality type? Who can you call out? And you may need to motivate this person. Like I had one guy on my team, sometimes I bring maybe 10 stacks or something and flash in his face and tell him, you ain't trying to get no money. But somebody else, I might need to go on and have a side conversation with them and motivate them a different type of way. So I think once you know your personnel and you know what position everybody need to be in, then I think that you'll start being successful. But the hardest part about that, sometimes you don't even know what's the difference between somebody in the wrong position and somebody ain't supposed to be in the company. It can get kind of confusing at times.
Wow.
I love it. Love it. Man, I got another question for you. Oh, go ahead, Byron. You got one?
Yeah, man. So I want to ask you, Diddy's, man, I love the fact your transition, like you said, from 2017 and to see where you are now, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, the cool thing, we had a chance to meet, not too long ago, but just to kind of see your journey and things. What is something that you see beginners do when they come in the industry, just some mistakes that they make, and how can they avoid them?
Man, I think the biggest mistake that people make now is so many different platforms and people that they learning from. I think people are getting stuck now, right? And the difference was when we came into the game, it wasn't that many people to learn from. You had maybe 2-3 people, and then you got to take action. Now you got Instagram, you got Clubhouse, you got 100 different gurus, including myself, and people are getting stuck. They don't know exactly which action to take. So I think that if people just had that roadmap, and some people do because some people teach it, if people could just focus in on that one thing and not to get too caught up on everything that's moving, I think people would be more successful. And you can't be scared to lose, man. You know what I mean? You can't be scared to make a mistake. The biggest risk is not taking the risk at all. That was something that I always kept in my mind. So I think people don't take action quick enough. They trying to be too smart and try to learn everything. And also, man, people they getting stuck, man. They not really, they got what they call analysis paralysis. People learning a lot of it, but they just don't know how to implement the information. I think that's the biggest problem right now.
So you said, they got so many gurus out here. How can someone pick the right person for them? Because they got plenty of people out there. Look at Instagram, Facebook, Clubhouse, like you said, it's way too much. How can somebody pick the right person for them?
It's all about what you want to do. You know what I mean? It's all about, if you gotta go to who you relate to, and I think that people gravitate naturally to who they can relate to, or which strategy they looking to do. If you're looking to, do mobile home, you're gonna holler at Byron. I mean, that's just simple. You know what I mean? If you want to do wholesaling, I mean, you may want to holler at Byron. If you want to do some rentals, you're gonna holler at Oneil. You know what I mean? But let's say if everybody doing the same thing, the only thing you can look at is who got the best credentials, or who got the credentials, whether they showing you that they doing the business and they showing you their student success, and at the same time, who you relate to. I mean, I think it's that simple. If you find somebody that's showing you they doing the business, that's showing you their students' results, and you can relate to their story, man, listen, you're gonna be all right.
That's your person. Yeah. And we got a question from the audience real quick. And also, you guys, if y'all have questions, please drop them in the comments right now. Go ahead and drop your questions. And after you drop your question, make sure that you smash that like button. Smash that like button.
It's free to do it.
Absolutely.
No charge.
Absolutely. So Devora said, okay, so from 2017 until now in 2021, what changes have you seen in the wholesale industry as a whole? Like, what are some of the changes you're witnessing?
Damn, that's a good ass question.
Yeah, that's a good question. First and foremost, the market is way hotter right now. It's on fire right now. You know what I mean? I think it's a little bit. I don't care what nobody say. We all doing deals, but it's a little harder to get these deals than it was in 2017. So first and foremost, the market is hotter. Number two, it's a little harder to get deals. But on the other hand, number three, is way more marketing channels now that people are familiar with. A lot of people weren't doing text blasts in 2017 or doing a whole lot of RVMs. You know what I mean? We didn't start doing RVMs in 2018.
Yeah.
So that's
18,
a whole
19.
Another thing is way more people that actually has a company set up now. It went a lot of people with acquisition managers and disposition managers back in 2017. So you got more companies. The good thing is, people went virtual. We closing deals over the phones now. That wasn't the thing. We was going on appointments a lot back in 2017. Now you got to speed up. You got to make that adjustment. You got to learn how to close over the phone. Of course, you're going to still go in person, on some of the deals, but we closing over the phone, more marketing channels. You see more companies now. The market is way hotter, and I mean, excuse me, that's some of the most simple things I can say. Right, that's easy. That's easy.
Speak to that, Keith. A lot of people get confused about virtual wholesaling and traditional wholesaling. And can you break down like what locking deals up over the phone? What is that? You know what I mean? Like what is that?
So basically, traditionally, most people when they speak it to a seller, they're not going in the direction that they actually want to get it closed over the phone. They're more trying to speak to the seller, qualify them a little bit. You ask them about the condition, what's the reason they're looking to sell. You're trying to get a price out of them, and then you say, you know what? Can we meet at the property on Tuesday at 3:00? Whether than now, when you're talking about virtual wholesaling, closing deals over the phone, I'm trying to make an offer in 10 minutes if I can. You know what I mean? I'm going straight towards it. I'm asking them, hey, listen, if we were to agree on the price today, what would that leave us at? Will we be able to get the price? So that way that if we can agree on that price that goes for the both of us, guess what? Let's go ahead and lock it down. You know what I mean? Let's go ahead and lock it up now. Why wait? Why we got to wait? I tell the sellers all the time, if the house don't got no foundation issues, a lot of termite damage, or don't have a lot of mold in the property, guess what? Everything else, we know exactly what we need to do. And I appreciate you for letting me know that. You know what I mean? So I just keep it simple.
Gotcha.
You gotta move with speed now. Speed kills now. You gotta be quick.
I want to get juicy. a little bit. So we know you're making that bag. So tell us about how you made 6 figures in 1 week. Was that all wholesale, or how many deals was it? Tell us a little bit about that. Break that down for us.
Hey, listen, we did it 4 times last year, right?
That's not common. Man. That's not common in the United States for somebody, especially black, to make 6 figures in a week.
Bro, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. We did it 4 times last year, right? But the one that meant something to me is that we went on the Steve Train show, right? Real Estate Disruptors. So we literally didn't have no title. I didn't know what the title was gonna be. He was asking me. I told him, man, just give me some time. Let me think about it. You know what I mean? Because remember, I believe in everything supernaturally. It happens to be that we end up closing 103,000 the week before we went on this big show, this big podcast, and I told him, I got it. That's the title. How did we make 6 figures last week? So when I said, damn, man, it's so crazy that we did 6 figures for the first time a week before we go on this big podcast. I thought it was supernatural. You know what I mean? But it was all wholesale deals. It was all wholesale. It was banger at the banger at the banger. I'm talking about it was going crazy, man.
How many deals was it?
But yeah, that was pretty dope.
How many deals was it to equal out to 103?
Man, I think it was like, let me see. It was like 8 deals. Let me see if I can find it. I still got the video on my phone. I know it's probably ain't got the time, but it was like 8 deals though. It wasn't like 2 or 3 deals. It was a couple, it was a couple 15s, 17s, 25s. So it was a lot of deals just adding up.
I got you.
We got a couple questions.
Follow-up question.
Okay.
Okay. One more follow-up.
Yes, sir.
Let's do it.
One more follow-up. So, you've been wholesaling from 16 to 20. What made you and Lenny make the decision like, man, we're going to start flipping these properties? Because I think y'all started flipping, June or July of 20? Something like that?
Man, we got our first one out in December of 2019, which was a hotel. I'm going to be honest with you, man. How it all came about, I feel like we was leaving a lot of money on the table with some of these deals, man. We was getting these deals in the best of the best areas. And you know what? I'm going to keep it real. The way we really got on it, because we started seeing what our cash buyers was reselling the properties for. And we like, damn, we could have just kept that and made more money instead of giving it to them. So when we started doing that, we're like, man, it don't make no sense, man, to give up all these deals. You know what I mean? It just didn't make no sense, especially the ones that don't need that much work. But I'm gonna keep it real. We had a place right now. We were just talking earlier. We want to get to the point where every single deal that we get, as far as on the wholesale side, MLS, everything MLS. That way,
now break it down for why. Why you want to put on the MLS for the people that's in the crowd? Man?
It goes back to somebody's question just a second ago. They asked me, what's the difference between 2017 and 2021? The market is way hotter right now. So if the cash buyers are paying the absolute most on wholesale deals, imagine when they see it on the market. Imagine your disposition manager don't got to put in that much work. The only thing they got to do is just monitor what's on the market and talk to the realtors who's bringing us the clients And that way, it ain't got to be no long, drawn-out dispo process, and we're going to get the maximum price for the properties.
Wow.
Got you.
Damn,
I got another follow-up question.
Yes, sir.
Let's run it.
Now,
Hey, that's dope.
how does someone do that? Y'all getting the properties on the contract, put them on the MLS, or y'all buying them with private money, then put them on the MLS? So,
Man, we
for the
buying
people
them.
that
So
don't
right
know,
now,
let us know.
So we using private money right now. We using private capital, right? All we did was one of our cash buyers that we knew that was buying properties and also doing a lot of lending. It's the same guy used to be in the meetups all the time when I was younger in the game. And I used to be like, damn, everybody used to be asking for money. He used to be like, who needs money? And I used to be so scared to say something because I didn't know what to really do or how it's supposed to go. But eventually we got our office. You know, we had our team in the office at the time, and we invited him to come through to the office and see the operation. At the time, we probably had 30 plus deals on the board. And I ain't gonna lie, I just set him down, man. I ain't try to put on no cute presentation. I kept it real with him, man. I said, listen, Tom. I said, listen, man. The people that you lending out your money to right now, I said, who you think selling them the deals? I said, just imagine that you selling the deals, they getting it from us. So imagine what we getting it for and what kind of return that you can get on your money from us.
Wow.
You can cut down your risk. We don't cut down your risk right now.
He closed the private money.
Man, listen, we ain't so tight with him right now. We ain't even got to pay him no payments to the back end because we didn't develop a relationship.
Wow.
Oh, that's dope.
Damn.
That's dope. Man, hey,
So we got
a few more questions from the audience. I see Dion Christian said, how would you break down an offer to a seller? How would you break down an offer to a seller?
It's 5 different things we're looking for. It's the key 5 things, right? First and foremost, it's the things you need to know before you even make any type of offer. You need to know 5 things. Number 1, is there any other decision makers on the property, right? It's number 1. Number 2, if you guys were to agree on price, where would that leave you guys at? Because you get the process started. Number 3, you need to figure out the property condition. And the way I like to do that is I like to make the seller categorize themselves. Hey, before we get into the condition, Mr. Seller, I'll talk about anything with the property. Just kind of want to bring you in my world for a quick second, right? It's 2 different type of properties we look at. I say this all the time. I'm looking at properties that sold for retail, that's in tip-top condition, the 2021 standards. I'm looking at properties that's in as-is condition. You knowing your property better than I do, which category do you think your property best fits in, right? So they're going to say, oh, where's as-is? Well, let me ask you this, Mr. Seller. I totally understand that. We definitely buy properties in as-is condition. If you were going to fix up the property, what's some of the things you'll do to the property to get it fixed up to sell? That's how I get into the condition. I don't start off, oh, what about the roof? What about this? No. You got to be smoother than that, man. So that's the 3rd thing, is the condition. Number 4, what's the reason they want to sell? What is the reason that they even want to sell their property, right? What's the motivation? And don't just take the first thing. Oh, I just evicted the tenants. Oh, okay, how quick you want to sell? I like to bag up a little bit. Anytime I ask them what's the reason they want to sell the property, I park real quick. Boom. That's pause. Let's focus on them. Now we got to ask our pain point questions, right? Now I'm asking them how long this has been going on. How you feel about the situation? You know, do you see the situation getting any better or getting any worse? I mean, how would you want this to go? What will make you happy right now with this situation? Have you thought about fixing it up or maybe just renting it back out? So now we know about the situation. We got the motivation, number 4. And number 5, by the time you get done asking all these questions, guess what? Now you're going to know exactly what benefits you need to offer the seller. So now you officially ready to make an offer. It's a process. It's 5 things. Decision makers, is they ready to make a decision? Property condition, motivation from the seller. Number 5 is your company benefits. Now you qualified to make an offer. If you didn't check off all 5 of those things, guess what? That's why they keep telling you, oh, I need to talk to my wife. I need to talk to my lawyer, because you haven't checked off the 5 boxes, man. It's that simple.
Hey, man.
Dang.
Flames.
I love it, man. And I think your question actually answered Valerie's question, because she said, what are some questions you would ask a seller? But I think you really covered that in the 5. I think, Valerie, that should really hit it. I think one more question we got for you from Devora says, are the properties you're putting on the MLS distressed or minor cosmetic work?
Both. It could be both. It could be both. You know, I mean, because you got to think about it though, right? It's 2 different type of, to me, it's 2 different type of hotels. You got hotels that you may purchase the property, you may paint it, And, you may do some flooring or some new carpet or something like that. But then you got the hotels, and what I'm talking about as far as like the wholesale deals, we getting them and we just putting them right on there, and we make it known, cash only, investor specials. That's it. I like those better than anything because you don't even got to do nothing to the properties. It's just like a wholesale. It's just that's going to go for a little bit more because the buyers, they got to get it off the MLS.
Wow.
How long they typically sit on the MLS? What's the average
It all
time?
depends. Now, it depends on what type of buyer we're talking about. If we're talking about somebody who's qualified or maybe trying to get any type of loan, FHA or something like that, or any type of conventional, then it may take, normally it's going to take them 30 days. But if you're talking about, if you put it on there as an investor special, if it's a cash buyer, it can go as quick as possible. It all depends on what your target is, what you're really looking for.
You know, Belle had a dope question. I want to see what your take is on this, Diddy. So she says, so with virtual wholesaling, you're making an offer over the phone, right? So what if the seller isn't being honest with you about the property condition? Like, what would you do in that situation? Being you can't see the property, but they fluffing the property. What would you do in that situation?
I got a situation like that right now when the guy said that the property was in a certain condition. He said, don't nothing need to be changed but the roof. We go in the house, that mug gutted, right? Yeah. Listen, I always tell the seller, listen, I appreciate your honesty on this property. It's helping us expedite the process. You know what I mean? Because if you honest, right, Mr. Seller, what you telling me the property condition down to the T is actually going to help us expedite the process. So after we get a deal locked up over the phone, right? The first thing we do, it goes straight over to transactions. Transactions, they schedule the appointment with the property specialist, which most people call boots on the ground. And also, once the property specialist verify the condition before the cash buyer see the property. Sometimes instead of sending out a property specialist, sometimes we have sellers send us pictures. But normally when we lock it up, we send out somebody to verify the condition. And guess what? If we look at the property and the condition is way off, then we're going to go right back in for the renegotiation. But let's say that it's still just a little bit worse than we thought it was. Sometimes we go ahead and just send it out to our buyers list at a specific price, still try to get some offers. At least we want to get the offers and get some descriptions of what they think about it. And that's when I can go back and get a price reduction on the property. Sometimes it's better that a buyer make an offer. They tell you when they can close and they give you the reason that they need to be at that offer. So when you go back to the seller, you can tell them exactly why you need to be where you need to be at because of the condition. You also want to tell them a closing date because you just don't want to drill them out and try to get the price down. At least bring some type of light to them. Tell them when the closing date is at least that you can do. And and then that's when you make your move on the price reduction. So you got to verify the condition first, and then you can just go from there.
Bars. Hey Diddy, man, listen, man. For somebody who just heard all these gems and they like, yo, listen, that brother, I love his story. I think I want to learn from him. Talk about the program that you offer and how and again, well, actually I got the link, so I'm gonna put it in the chat. But tell them about your program.
Man, Mastering the Art of Acquisitions 101. Man, it's still hot in the streets, man. We dropped the album last March, man. It's still, we still representing out, man. We out the trunk with it. But now, seriously though, man, to me, it's one of the best courses. I recorded it in 24 hours. I tell people all the time. I was fresh off the ground zero of being in San Antonio. I got around all these great minds and people speaking on stage. But shit, I did it in 24 hours, 60 plus videos, 18 live videos with calls and different things. 20 of our documents and scripts and everything like that. You can get it. All you gotta do is hit the link, man. So it's well worth it. A lot of people BA, they train their team and they train their stuff on it. So if you're looking to close more deals, man, listen, I can't make you get it, man. I can make you get it now. You gotta make that decision.
Oh man, I love it, man. I went ahead and put that in the chat. So make sure y'all take full advantage. Make sure y'all follow at Real Estate Diddy on Instagram. Click the link in his bio. All right, man. Diddy, man. Bro, you came and dropped, man. You dropped so much heat tonight, bro. Man, thank you, bro.
Definitely appreciate it. Definitely appreciate it. You got any parting words for anybody, for us?
Man, listen, man, I just appreciate you gentlemen, man. It's something about the energy this year. I don't know what it is, man. It's like I ain't gonna say it's the first year, but it just feel like we all trying to get it together finally, man.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I about the pandemic. The pandemic brought people together, You know, I feel like before the pandemic, everybody was trying to flex on each other, but now it's like, okay, let's get on and get this bag together, man. So I just appreciate you joining me for inviting me on. For sure.
Man, we definitely
Thank
appreciate
you,
it, man. For sure.
Thank you,
Sure.
man. Listen, y'all. Man, Diddy, again, thank you so much for joining. Make sure y'all follow at Real Estate Diddy. Man, listen, if y'all want to catch more, catch us tomorrow at 6 a.m. Central Time. We will be on Clubhouse. All these brothers host. I'm actually going to be a guest on their show. What is it? Business Over Breakfast?
Absolutely.
Business Over Breakfast, mobile homes, baby.
Yes,
6 a.m.
mobile
live.
home to millions.
The number
Yes,
one
man.
room
Man, we
on
got to educate the
Clubhouse.
communities, man. We got to educate
Yeah.
the people,
I
man.
don't want to miss it. I think tomorrow, I think we're gonna be over 1,000 deep in there, man.
Oh,
yeah, it's going down.
Get it.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
telling
going
you,
down.
you don't want to miss it. And if
Man, I
anybody
love
need an
it.
invite, man, y'all shoot me a DM on Instagram. I think I got 3 or 4 left. Two people that sent me a DM, so send me a DM. Or Devora, send Devora a DM. She got some more invites as well. We want y'all to be in the building, man.
Facts, man. Listen, man. Tonight has been a special episode, man. Diddy, you lit this boy on fire. Byron, Oneil, man, coming with the heat. Listen, everybody, we thank y'all for joining us. You guys are doing a phenomenal job. If you have not learned anything tonight, the biggest thing you should have learned is bet on yourself and have faith. All right. So with that being said, man, listen, we love y'all. Until next week, we'll see y'all later, man. Salute.